Well, welcome to our session on question and answer. We shall begin with the first question.
Question number 1 from Susana Dewi Susan, Palembang, Indonesia. Our Dhamma teacher, Mr. Wawar, from Indonesia, previously was Pra Agabalo, who stayed next to Long Po Kuti at Wat Bawon, was in critical condition and now has passed away on March 1st, 2018. Can Ajahn send metta to our Dhamma teacher?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I knew him when I was staying at Wat Bawon. When I was getting ready to ordain, he was there. He was an Indonesian monk. That was about, 43 years ago? He's dead now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He stayed next to Long Po's Kuti.
Yeah, we stay in the same building.
Oh, okay. Question number 2 from Ashin Y. Ponla. Would you please explain about the law of cause and effect? Thank you.
The law of cause and effect is the law of karma. See, cause is our action done through our body, speech, and mind. See, when we think, when we say something or do something, we are creating a cause, and then there will be result coming. The result can be good or bad, can be happy or sad. When you think about something, it can make you feel good or it can make you feel bad. When you say something, you can make yourself, you can hurt yourself or you can make yourself happy. So this is the law of karma, cause and effect. What you do, what you say, what you think will create happiness or sadness, will hurt you or will help you. It depends on what you say, what you do, what you think.
Next question from Norway, from Elizabeth Weber. Dear Ajahn, I heard you said in a talk that one should let go of nimitta and light in meditation. I often get sense of white light when I meditate. When I sustain this white light for a while, I fixate my mind at the specific body part. It brings me great joy. It makes the mind feel focused and open at the same time. Is this the correct way to meditate?
No. You have to stick to your meditation object. If you use a mantra, you should continue on with your mantra. If you use the breath, just keep focusing on your breath. Because if you don't, you will not reach the destination you want to get to, which is calm and ubekkha, meaning the mind become neutral. The mind will have no desire, no love or hate, no fear, no delusion. So if you don't stick to your meditation, your mind will not be able to become singularity, become one. When it's not one, it means it still think, and then it will not become neutral. You want to make the mind neutral because this is when the mind is the most happy, when the mind becomes neutral.
Her next question from Norway. How do I know if this white light is a nimitta or a kamatana?
They're just what we call phenomenon, mental phenomenon. Don't pay attention to them. They don't worth much of anything. Yeah. It's better to stick to your mantra or stick to your breath.
Her next question. Sometimes image of bones and skeleton parts will occur in this bright light, and when this happens, I feel very liberated. Should I immediately let go of the bone image, or should I try to maintain them for a while and let the mind get even brighter?
It depends on what you want. You know, if you don't want ubekkha, if you don't want the mind to become one, to be still, then you can just pay attention to whatever comes up. But that will be against the purpose of meditation in the first place. The purpose of meditation is to calm your mind, to stop your mind from acting or reacting. You want to make your mind just purely knowing. Yeah. So if you go pay attention to other objects, then your mind will be distracted, and it will not become one. and you will never achieve samadhi.
Her next question. Sometimes I have to force myself to stop meditating when I have other tasks to do, because I cannot uphold the same level of happiness when I'm mindful in activities as compared to in the formal meditation sitting. What can I do to prevent getting addicted to beautiful mind states that arise in meditation?
To be addicted to the beautiful mind state is not wrong. It's okay. It's not harmful to the mind. It's good for the mind. To be addicted to calm, to happiness within the mind is okay. It's what we seek for. We work for. We want to stop become addicted to other things, because other thing is temporary. They can come and then they can go, and when they go, then they can make us sad. But with the happiness of mind, we can always maintain it once we know how to do it. So it's okay to be addicted to the happiness of mind.
Next question. Question number 7 from Singapore, from Teo Jun Jie. When we talk about rebirth or reincarnation, what is it in a person that gets reborn? Is there such a thing as soul? If not, what is it that is being reborn?
The body, we just change a body, like we transplant. Like nowadays you can change the liver, you can transplant the liver, you can transplant the heart. But when we die, we transplant the whole body. We change a new body. We are still the same person, but we change the body. The body is just an instrument, like an automobile. We are like the driver of an automobile. See, the driver don't change. The driver just changed the automobile. So the mind and the body is just like that. The mind is like the driver. The body is like an automobile. When the body breaks down, can no longer function, then the mind go get a new body. That's what we call rebirth. Rebirth is getting a new body. That's all. The mind is still the same person. Everything that you have inside your mind go with you. Your old habit go with you. Your like and dislike go with you. Whatever you used to do, you will continue on when you get a new body.
His next question. How do you define nirvana?
Nirvana is the cessation of all suffering in the mind. No suffering, no sadness, no misery, no bad feelings within the mind. It's called Nibbana or Nirvana.
Can we know that we have attained Nibbana? If indeed we have attained it, how can we know it?
When you no longer have any sadness, then you know it. When you are always happy, regardless of whatever situation you might encounter, you're still happy. Even when you get old, get sick or die, and you're still happy, then you know you have got to Nirvana.
His next question. Does God exist in Buddhism?
Does what exist?
God.
Does God exist in Buddhism? God is just one of the mind that has reached a certain level of purity, of goodness. We call God, in Buddhism we call Deva. They are spiritual beings. But they are not the God that in the Christian religion. Christian religion believe God created the world, created everything. But in Buddhism, God is just another mind that has developed to a certain level of purity or goodness. But they don't have the ability to create or destroy anything. What create and destroy we call nature. In Buddhism we call everything is created by nature, by the law of nature. Nature create and then nature destroy.
His next question from Singapore. Does Buddhism explain how this universe and its being come about? Does anyone create the universe, or is it formed naturally?
Buddhism said that the universe and everything else that exists within this universe are created from the 6 elements, the 6 basic elements. They are the earth element, the water element, the wind element, the fire element, the knowing element, and the space element. All these things, when they come into action, they create, and then when they separate, they destroy.
Next question from California, United States, from Mariam Jasayeri. When we are looking for a new body to be reborn again, do we choose our parents?
Unfortunately, we cannot. It's the law of karma that will be the one to direct you to whichever parent you are supposed to be reborn with.
Next question, question number 12 from Indonesia, from Alexander. Will a Sotapanna know that he has already become one?
He might not know the name of a Sotapanna, but he knows the quality of a Sotapanna. The quality of a Sotapanna, he knows that his sadness or his suffering are created by his desire, his attachment to his body. Now he knows that he no longer attached to the body. He understands, he sees the body as not himself. So he has no attachment and has no desire for the body to exist forever. So he's not hurt by the aging, sickness, and death of the body. That's the quality of a Sotapanna. He can let go of the body because he sees the body not as himself. He sees the body as being impermanent. He sees that his suffering or his mental pain is caused by his desire for the body to last forever, for the body not to get old, get sick, and die. So in order for him not to be affected by the aging sickness of the body, he has to have the wisdom or the insight to see that the body is not himself. He is the mind who is like a driver, while the body is like an automobile. So when the time for the automobile to become obsolete, then he just let it be. Yeah. So when it's time for the body to die, he let the body die. He is not hurt by the death of the body.
Will his next life as a human being be continued to intersect with Buddhism?
Whether he will intersect with Buddhism or not is not necessary anymore, because he has Buddhism in his mind. The truth of the Four Noble Truths has been established in his mind. So he will move forward without Buddhism, with or without Buddhism, because he can get rid of all his suffering, because he knows the cause of his suffering is caused by his own desire. So every time he has any suffering, any bad feeling, he just gets rid of his desire that causes this bad feeling. So eventually he will get rid of all the bad desire, all the desire that causes him the mental suffering. Then eventually he will reach nirvana.
Next question from the same person, from Indonesia. I want to become a monk for at least a month. I do not know whether I will continue to be a monk or disrobe after 1 month. Is becoming a monk for a planned duration a bad thing to do?
Not bad, but it's not good either. To become a monk, really you have to be serious and take it up as the permanent commitment. Because if you just do it for 1 month, it's okay, but you don't get much from 1 month. Being a monk, it means you want to devote your whole life to the liberation of your mind, and doing it 1 month will just not do much of anything.
From the same person, from Indonesia. Currently, I have a girlfriend and I plan to propose her after I've disrobed. Does Ajahn think this is unwise?
Yes, it's not wise, because you're going to suffer, because one day your wife might leave you, or she might die, or she might become unfaithful, and then you will be sad. Right now you're not sad because you don't have a wife. But when you have a wife, you're going to be sad one day, sooner or later.
His next question. My parents are active in Pindapat or giving alms. Is there anything we should know more about giving alms, like the things to do and things we should avoid?
Well, just give food that can be eaten right away. Don't give any uncooked food. Food has to be cooked. And just give. Just share what you have, what you eat. You can just share that and give it to the monks.
Next question from Italy, from Danilo Camassa. I'd like to express my opinion about eating meat. Ajahn said that it's possible to follow the rule of not killing if we eat meat that were given to us as long as they were bought in supermarket. However, although the meat were from animals that have been killed not based on our request, the fact that the animals are being killed is considered as deprivation of life. And by us eating meat, we are boosting the killing of animals by contributing to the demand for meat, and therefore we promote killing in order to satisfy our taste buds. So we need to look at this in a broader way, because when we choose to buy chicken, we are supporting the killing by using our money to buy the product. I would like to know your thought about this aspect.
Well, see, this is a big it's a big picture. When you look at the big picture, you're just a small dot in a big picture. What you do or what you don't do really don't change the big picture anyway. So this is my thought. Whether you eat meat or you don't eat meat, you don't change the big picture. There will still be people who will eat meat, you'll kill meat. So this is my thought. So just wasting your time. This doesn't help to make you any better spiritually. What will make you better spiritually is to concentrate on your practice of meditation and leave the world alone. This is the world. It has always been like this, and it will always be again in the future. So if you want to change the world, you're just a tiny dot, and you want to change the whole big picture, you're just wasting your time. You better use your time more wisely. You change yourself better. Make yourself happy. You can make yourself happy all the time. Rather than get frustrated trying to change the big picture that you cannot change.
His next question from Italy, from Danilo. Dream implies desire. Therefore, during nocturnal dreams or having dream at night, our unconscious behavior emerges, hence our desire emerges, of which this desire during the waking hours remain hidden. My question is whether an Arahant no longer has any dream, or when Arahant dreams, is he aware of the dream like having a lucid dream? Can he understand the dream? Can he control the dream?
This question you have to wait until you become one. Because if you don't become an Arahant, then who you gonna ask? Who's gonna say he's an Arahant and answer your question? So I don't know. The best way to get this answer is to become an Arahant yourself. So if you don't have, if you're not an Arahant, then forget about this question.
Okay. Next question, question number 18 from Netherlands, Alessio Fifiani from Amsterdam, Netherlands. I've been following the Buddha's teaching according to Theravada tradition. I also have a little knowledge about Taoism and Lao Tzu philosophy. I read a sutta where the Buddha said that there was another Buddha at the same time. Did the Buddha ever spoke about another contemporary Buddhas?
I don't know. I haven't studied that much to know whether he said this or that, so I cannot comment on your question.
Can you explain the difference between Arya Jhanas and Anarya Jhanas?
No, you have to search Google for that.
Question number 20 from Gina from Tokyo, Japan. Recently, as a result of a bad breakup, which mostly due to my fault, I start listening to Dhamma talk by you, Ajahn Brahm and Ajahn Martin. I have anger towards myself and I'm overwhelmed by this anger inside me. How to overcome anger and guilty towards my own self?
Anger arises from your own desire. You desire to be good or to not do what you did. So you have to forget this desire and just accept the fact that what happens happens. And the way to change yourself is to stop your desire and try to do things that you don't have to rely on other people. Try to find happiness by not having to rely on other people or things. Because if you do, you're gonna end up sooner or later end up disappointed or sad, because what you used to make you happy can change or can leave you, can disappear from you. So it's better for you to come and find happiness within your own self by doing meditation, calming your mind, using a mantra, or focusing your breath. And then you can find happiness that will always be with you, that you will not be separated from this happiness. So your anger arises from your desire, whether you desire on somebody else or on yourself. When you want something and you cannot get what you want, then you become angry. So if you don't want to become angry, you should try to stop your desire.
Her next question from Tokyo, Japan. I understand when anger arises, I have to observe it arising and ceasing, and then investigate the reason why the anger arises according to the way of anicca, dukkha, anatta. I can read the meaning of these three characteristics on the text, but how can I realize it?
Well, when you're angry, you ask yourself, what are you angry about? You're angry about that person? Then you ask yourself, what makes you angry at that person? Because you want that person to do something for you, and when that person doesn't do what you want, then you become angry. So you don't become angry, just then don't have any desire or any expectation for that person to do what you want. Just let that person be. He can do whatever he wants to do. Then you will not get angry at that person. See? So you have to look at the object of your anger and then see that you have any desire toward that object, whether it's a person or not a person. You'll find that it's your desire toward that object. Either you want it to be like this or like that, and it doesn't become like this or like that. See? So then all you have to do is just change your mind. Don't expect anything from that object. Don't have any desire for that object. Then you will not get angry at that object.
Next question from Budika Wijo Surya. Most of English translation I read, anatta is translated as not self and anicca as impermanence. However, many Sri Lankan Buddhist monks do not agree with this translation. They said it is a mistranslation by Buddhaghosa. According to many Buddhist monks, it appears anicca means inability to control the five aggregates. Anatta means futile nature of five aggregates. Is this correct?
Futile nature of the aggregates.
Yes.
Actually, anatta means it's nature. Everything is nature. Everything is part of nature. No one can control nature. See? The body is part of nature. Everything else that we come into contact with, they are all part of nature. They are not under our control. They might be under our control sometime, but not all the time. Such as our body, sometimes we can control the body. Like right now, we can tell it to walk, to sit, and to do this and that. But eventually, one day, you will not be able to control, to tell it what to do. So everything, the word anatta means there is no self in anything. Everything is part of nature. But our delusion creates this concept of a self, somebody who can control things. That's all. That's what it means by atta, someone who can control things. When in fact everything is not under anybody's control. That's anatta.
And anicca?
Anicca is changing, never the same. Keep changing all the time. Rising or ceasing, appearing or disappearing. These are all changes. or changes. Everything is like this. Nothing remains the same.
Okay. His next question. Ajahn said in one of the talk, we can control the mind because if we don't control the mind controls you. When the Buddha said everything cannot be controlled, he doesn't mean the mind cannot be controlled. Can Ajahn please explain in more details using illustration?
Well, you can control your anger, you can control your greed, your delusion, see. But you cannot control your body. You cannot tell your body to be young forever. You cannot control your other people's body. So this is the example. See, you can control your mind. You can get rid of your desire. You can tell your mind to be calm. If you have the tool, you can keep your mind calm all the time without being affected by whatever happens. See. So this is what the example I can give you.
Next question number 24 from Singapore, from JC. In one Ajahn talk, someone asked about tantric practice, and Ajahn replied that tantric practice is only samadhi level and is only halfway into our goal. If we know about the Four Noble Truths, we can solve our problem. My question is, I don't understand how the Four Noble Truths can solve our problems.
Because our problems, the first Noble Truth is called dukkha, or suffering, or problem. See, when we have suffering, we have problem, we have suffering, right? We don't feel good. This is the first Noble Truth. When you have problem, and your problem arises from your desire. This is the cause of your problem. You want more money, and when you don't get more money, it's become a problem because you spend more than you can find, than you can make. Then this become a problem. The problem is because you want more money, but you cannot get more money, so it becomes a problem. If you want to get rid of this problem, it's just get rid of your desire to get more money. Just get whatever you get, and then you won't have any problem. And spend whatever you have. Don't spend more than what you have. See, this is the fourth truth. The fourth Noble Truth is the path to the cessation of problem. Is to see that the problem is caused by your desire. So if you cannot get what your desire wants, then stop your desire and get whatever you can get. Then the problem will disappear. See. Understand? Okay. Last question? Two more?
Two more.
Okay.
Number 25. I heard about tantric practice, and I'm not sure whether is it good or bad things to learn. Is it a kind of yoga or is it a kind of meditation practice?
I'm not really sure. You have to study it. You have to search in Google and find out. But my understanding is, I think it's a practice of meditation. For calm, not for wisdom.
Question number 26 from Indonesia, from Sulasni Anggriani. Our son is just 7 years old, is diagnosed with a rare genetic disease, and there is no treatment for this disease at this moment. As a mother who practices Dhamma, what should I do to help him in Dhamma way? Well,
just look after him as best as you can. What else can you do? Is that all the question for today?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for all of your questions for this session. And if you still have any more questions, please do send them in, and we will reply in the next session.
Thank you.
May you pass to the liberation of suffering, become reality soon.
Thank you, Long Hao.
One more question before this lady wants to ask.
Thank you. What can I do about my nightmares? I'm struggling of nightmares every night.
Nightmares are the result of your bad karma. The bad deeds that you have done in the past, they are recorded in your consciousness. And when you sleep, this nightmare will arise. So what you can do is start do more good deeds. Try to do good karma. like being kind, being helpful to other people, then you will be recording good karma. So when you sleep, then maybe eventually the good karma will create good dreams for you. But you cannot go change the past. You just have to face the consequence of your past karma. Just as long as you don't try to, as long as you don't have the desire to not want this nightmare, then it won't hurt you so much. What hurt you so much is not the nightmare itself, but your desire not to have this nightmare. So just try to make your mind neutral. Don't react. Just accept them for what they are. If there's going to be nightmare, just know it's just a dream. So what? It's just like watching a bad movie, a horror movie. When you get up, it will disappear. What hurts you is not the nightmare, but your desire to get rid of the nightmare, which you cannot. So try to accept the nightmare as part of the thing that you have done in your past, the consequence of your bad karma. And try to do more good karma. Then eventually this bad karma that you have done will disappear, and then you will have the good karma creating good dreams for you. Okay. Right now, try not to have any denial. Don't try to push away this nightmare. The harder you try, the more painful your mind becomes. Just relax and say, okay, come, just like watching a bad movie. Yeah. Okay? It's a movie, really, right? Yeah. When you get up, it's all disappear. So what? All right? Don't lose sleep over it. Just let it be. Let it happen.
Okay.
All right? Try to meditate. It can help. If you meditate, your mind becomes calm. Then the dreams will be less. Yeah. Try to calm your mind. Try to meditate a lot. Focus on your breath. Just sit down, watch your breath. Before you go to sleep, just watch your breath. When your mind becomes calm, then maybe the nightmare won't come up. Okay, this is doing good karma by calming your mind. It's another way of making good karma. All right? Okay. ตัดได้แล้วนะ So long. See you next time. You from Indonesia. You want to have anything to say or ask? I'll give you the microphone if you want. Nothing?
I want to ask about meditation. I used to focus on breathing for meditation, but I want to ask whether I should focus on one of the points, like...
Just one point. When you meditate, don't move around. Fix at one point, because you want to make your mind still. If you keep moving, then your mind will not be still. Stay at one point, at the tip of your nose.
Okay.
That's when the breath come in and go out. And don't follow the breath in or don't follow it out. Just watch at one point. Just watch that the breath is coming in, is coming out. It's short or it's long. It is fine or it is coarse. Just know. Just don't do anything. Don't control the breath. Just watch. Just focus. Concentrate. And don't think. If you're watching, then you cannot think. If you think, it means you're not watching your breath. If you can persist on watching your breath, your mind will become calmer, and eventually become still. When the mind becomes still, just maintain, try to keep it still for as long as possible. During that time, it's not time to contemplate on vipassana. You wait until you come out of your meditation. Then you can contemplate on vipassana, contemplate on the impermanent nature of things, such as your body or your money or people that you know. Everything is impermanent, so that you can lessen your attachment to them. Because if you are attached to them, when they have to leave you, you will become sad. But if you don't cling to them, you know that they're going to have to be gone one day, then when they disappear, they will not hurt you. So you have to keep contemplating, teaching your mind to think that everything is temporary. Even your life, your body is temporary. Everything has an end to it, and accept it and let it happen. Don't resist, because when you resist, it will cause your mind to become stressful, to become unhappy, to become sad. But if you accept it, then your mind will be calm and not affected by the end of things, the end of people, the end of your life. But you have to keep reminding yourself that this is what's going to happen. This you do after you come out of your meditation. When you meditate, you don't want to think. When you're not meditating, then you want to contemplate on the anicca, dukkha, anatta nature of things and people. Then you will have wisdom of vipassana, seeing things as they are, seeing that everything rises and ceases, come and go. You cannot stop them. Then you can let go of your attachment. And then when things happen, you will not be sad. Okay?
Thank you.
I want to ask on how to practice meditation on Buddha. Are we simply repeating the word Buddha on whatever we do, or should we synchronize it with what we are doing? For example, like when we are breathing in, we say Bud, and then breathing out, we say Do.
It's up to you. The point is to stop your thoughts. If you can use it and make it stop thinking, then it's all right. But you have also to be, if you're doing things, you have to make sure that you're doing things correctly. Not if you're doing something and you keep reciting Buddha without watching what you do, you might do something wrong. So when you do something, you have to pay attention to what you do first. But if your mind wants to drift and think about the other thing, then you use Buddha to bring it back to your work. See? So you have to know how to use Buddha. If you're working, then concentrate on what you do. But when you're concentrating, your mind still drifts and go think about other things. Then you should bring it back by reciting the mantra Buddha, Buddha. If you sit, if you're watching your breath, if you can watch your breath without using Buddha, then you don't need Buddha. But if you watch your breath and your mind still think, then you might need to use Buddha. Then you can either use Buddha alone without having to pay attention to your breath, or you can synchronize Buddha with your breath. So breathing in Buddha, breathing out Buddha. It's up to you how you want to adjust your practice. This you can do it according to your preference. Okay? The purpose, the goal is to stop thinking, to make the mind be still. When the mind becomes still, it can be happy. It will be happy. And then you can use this happiness to replace the other form of happiness. Right? If you don't have the happiness from the mind, then you have to have happiness from other things. But other things are impermanent. They can disappear. When they disappear, the happiness that you get from them will also disappear. But if you can have happiness from your mind, you will always have it, because the mind will never disappear from you. So once you have happiness of mind, then you can give up the other kind of happiness. You can live alone. You don't have to have a mansion. You don't have to have lots of money. You don't have to travel. You don't have to watch TV or anything, because you can be happy without these things. So this is the benefit, the greatness of meditation. It can make you happy without having to have anything. and it will always stay with you. Not like everything that you have, they one day will be gone. Either you leave them or they leave you. But this happiness of the mind will always stay with you because you are part of the mind. So try to meditate as much as possible. But before you can meditate, you have to have mindfulness. So you have to keep stopping your mind from thinking by either using a mantra or by concentrating on what you do. Okay? No more? Give the microphone back.
จากโอลิเวียค่ะ
Bonjour, Olivia from Paris. How are you?
Bonjour ท่านอาจารย์ Somebody asked me if we have fear or anger inside us. Is it better to observe it or stop it by reciting Putto, for example? I answer to stop it by reciting Putto. It is correct. Thank you.
Well, for some people, if they know that they are angry, by merely knowing that they are angry might be able to stop their anger. But if you know that you are angry and you cannot stop, then you have to use a mantra to stop it. Like when you're angry and you know that I'm angry, but I cannot stop it, then you have to use Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Don't think about the thing that make you angry. If you keep thinking about things that make you angry, you will get angrier, more angry. But if you switch your mind to think about something else, then you forget about the things that make you angry. Then the anger will eventually disappear. So it can be either way. If you have strong mindfulness, once you know that you are angry, you can, and when you know, then this anger disappears. Then you don't have to do anything. But if you know that you're angry and the anger is still there, then you have to use a mantra. Or you can use wisdom or the common sense. Wisdom is common sense. You have to look at the thing that make you angry. If it's a person, you ask yourself, can you change that person? Can you change that person's action from causing you to get angry? If you cannot, then you have to accept that person's action. By accepting it and knowing that you cannot change it, you can minimize or get rid of your anger. You have to look at that person's action is like a natural process. Like when it rains, can you stop the rain or not? If you know you cannot stop the rain, you don't have to be angry at the rain because you know you cannot control the rain. So you let it rain. Same way with the action of that person. If you cannot stop the action of that person that makes you angry, then just don't have this desire to stop that action. Let it happen. Just be merely acknowledging or know that action, but don't try to control that action if you cannot.